Yeah.
Oh, we're fine, yeah.
Amy, curious, what's on here? Does that ever show to people what's on Zoom?
I don't know how to do that.
That's fine. I just didn't know how it worked.
No,
We talked to John about that. He's gonna.
I think he's gonna put another camera
Yeah,
shining on this.
I don't know how to do that. I know how to share this screen with that, but I don't. I suppose if I was to pull up my,
you'll have to have another,
if I was able to log on to my account on this computer, then I could.
that's what he said. You'll have to have like your laptop and something else.
Yeah.
It'll be like you're in an NFL game in the truck.
Yeah,
They're gonna
there,
be doing all this, changing cameras, zooming in.
yeah.
We need a production truck
Yeah.
outside.
We could do the headsets.
Wait a minute, we have to, what's the truckie? The task force truck.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:01 on Monday, October 27th, 2025. Let's get the Shelby County Board of Commissioners meeting for this week started. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the October 20th, 2025 meeting.
I'll move to approve minutes for 10/20/2025.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes pass 3-0. Next up, we have payroll.
That's from last week.
This is from last week that I need to sign because I
Refund.
Zoom.
was participating electronically.
Saying that though.
We also have a tax refund. This is for property located Teal and First Street in the amount of $1,421.47. Amy, is this
That was a property that should have been tax exempt.
okay? This is a tax exemption for 501(c)(3), I assume. Okay.
Robert's here.
Yep. Entertain a motion to approve the tax abatement for 501(c)(3). Actually not approve the abatement, but approve the refund as a result of their 501(c)(3) status.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. All right, next up we have bids for the assessor's reassessment service. Denisa, you spoke previously about this, posted.
We had posted twice in the Shelbyville newspaper.
Yep.
Which was done, and they had to have this bid submitted by 8 o'clock this morning, and the only one that got turned in was the one in front of you.
All right. All right. All right, we have a bid from Nexus Group. This is for the cyclical reassessment and annual adjustment of all property classes in Shelby County, Indiana, covering the period from January 1st, 2026 through September 1st, 2030. This is for an annual cost of $200,000 with a 4-year contract, total maximum cost of $800,000.
That's for assessments.
That is for the cyclical assessment and annual adjustments for all property classes.
And so you might explain to them that it's not just for the assessments, like they
Oh,
do.
no, they cut us off.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so people won't think that that's the only thing, because like they do the ratio study.
They do a lot for our office. They do our ratio studies.
It's a ratio study.
It's where we have to turn it into the state showing that we had valid cells between 0.90 to 1.10. Those get sent to the state, and that's how our neighborhood factors are evaluated. And then they also do our appeals, the attorneys do. The expense in there covers the appeals, no matter if they're Peterborough or here. They do our circular reassessment, they do our new construction, our commercial, industrial. It covers a lot of different material. They're at our call anytime we need them. They're down here to assist us. They even supply us with webinars to take so we can get our hours in without having to leave the office. We can do them from here.
They came a few weeks ago.
Yes, they did.
And he actually was an attorney, I think.
What, that was Brian Cusimano? Yes. And the other lady was, I believe she's the president of Nexus that was here, Lana.
So in addition to the reassessment services, it's appeal support, new construction assessment, validation as far as the ratio studies,
And they turn that all into the state, the ratio study.
okay.
And they turn our numbers in for our, I relay our numbers to them, but they're the ones that turn the numbers into the state for us. On the circular reassessment, it goes to the DLGF.
As far as where we're at as a county with regards to, if somebody has an assessment question or, are we do a lot of our assessment challenges?
They handle our appeals for us.
Okay,
Initially, when the Form 11s go out and they want to come back in and file an appeal, our office will initially try to settle it with them. We'll go over it, try to explain the property record card. Or we will bring up pictometry or GIS and go over the card and what we see, what the differences are. And then if we can't get it settled for our office, then they'll go on and fill out an appeal, and that's when Nexus gets involved in it. If Nexus is here at that time, they're more than happy to sit down and talk with them at that time or in person. They take phone calls from the public at any time. They can call in, we contact them. They're here every Tuesday, sometimes on Thursdays.
and what you're seeing as far as, successful or valid appeals, is that high? Is that
I think,
low? Or is it,
I believe we have a lot more invalid appeals than we do valid.
okay? And
Because-
I'm just trying to make sure that what they're doing as far as their ratio studies, the reliability portion of what they do, the numbers are accurate, the numbers are
Absolutely.
valid.
After they're sent to the DLGF has to actually go through everything and have to approve it. And if they see anything that doesn't qualify or they have questions about, they contact Lana, Lana contacts me, and then we get it settled between us and get it worked out.
I don't mean to put you on the spot or anything.
You're fine.
Lisa, but I know a lot of people, and particularly since the, property taxes have become a legislative topic, this year, obviously. A lot of people have questions about the property tax process
Mhm.
and I don't want to say the validity of it, but the reliability of the assessments that, and just want to explain to the public just the safeguards that your office is putting in place through stuff like this to make sure that people are getting accurate assessments. And it sounds like, that there's multiple safeguards in place to ensure that those numbers are reliable, repeatable, and people are getting accurate assessments. It's,
I believe they are.
Yeah.
I truly do. Sometimes we have people come in and they're upset, understandably. But then once we explain the whole process to them, they may not be happy, but at least they walk away understanding how the numbers went up.
Mhm.
Some of the folks don't understand that new construction does not affect the reassessment. That's an invalid sale automatically. And with all the new homes being built in the neighbor or in our county, they question that a lot, think if that's exactly what's doing, or the commercial is doing.
They applied on the next cycle or how's that?
Yes.
Okay.
The year they're built, they're not included. But once they resell, or the next year that comes up, they are included in it.
I'm learning something, so. Yeah, appreciate the information, appreciate, your willingness to explain to constituents and, what the numbers mean, how you got there, that kind of stuff, so.
A lot of the farmers come in and they'll ask about the land rates for their ag ground.
Mhm.
And they don't understand that it's not our office doing that. That comes straight from the state. And so we'll sit down and explain and bring up their property online. It brings up a soil report. And then we can explain how the base rate starts and how that base rate gets to where it is their charge. Because each soil type has a different factor that's applied to it. It can be above or below what the state sets.
Learning something every day.
Pretty fair way to do it.
Yeah.
And better.
How long has Nexus been with us?
I believe right around 20 years. I've been here 9 years, well, almost 10, and they've been here the whole time I've been here.
Then roughly how many houses do you know are actually in the county, city limits and county?
I do not know that is the exact count. I know it's, the parcel numbers are between 29,000 and 30, but I don't know right off the top of my head.
But out of these 29,000 parcel numbers, they'll basically review every one over the next 4 years.
Yes, it's a quarter per cycle, a quarter per year. It's a requirement. And then they do the secular reassessment, and then our office, as the sales disclosures come in, every time a property sells, then we can review it and go out there and reevaluate in case they just flipped the home and now it has a new roof, new siding, new gutters, that type of thing, so we can adjust what our assessed value is based on what it was prior to the sale.
I have a question.
Sure.
With the new 2% that they're giving cap twos, are we gonna go back and look at rentals? Is that gonna be, have they changed the formula on that? Because, I mean, I know a lot of rentals, when they come in, they pretty much get, if they qualify, about half off the assessment to almost look at like they have a homestead. But I didn't know with the new 2%, if that was gonna make you guys go back or have you guys go back and relook at that.
I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't know if they were having you guys.
Not that I've heard of.
Okay.
We are looking back at the geothermal because that
You
exemption
do
has been
have to
taken
set
away.
the geothermal, they just don't get that deduction in.
Correct.
You know how much our last contract was with them?
I believe when I talked to them when I was doing the budget, because that was done with Ann. I called them when I was getting the budget ready for Amy, and they said it was like maybe a 15, no more than a 15% increase from the last one.
It looks like we're not the only county that utilizes them. Blackford, Davies, Cobb, Franklin, Grant, Hancock, Henry, Putnam, Rush, Shelby, Steuben, Vandenberg, Wayne, Wells, Whitley, Noble.
Very good, a reliable source, and they know our county very well.
Not seeing a contract for approval today.
And there should be a contract.
I have not looked inside the envelope.
The document.
These are just copies.
Maybe you just approve that
Yeah, approval of the
bid.
bid. This is the contract, like the generic contract that was included in the bid packet, right? Yeah, so the successful bidder, we have to draft a DLGF prescribed contract for annual adjustment.
Yeah, DLGF.
Okay. State Form 55-930. So, we can approve this, and then execute the contract.
You'll have to go with the DLGF because I remember now, it's been a while, but the DLGF does the contract for Nexus or whoever's doing our workforce. So I'll get a hold of them and they should have
Okay,
get us a contract.
So I'll move to approve the Nexus bid for their reassessment services for a 4-year contract of $800,000.
I'll second that.
The motion second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative. Aye. Also let the record reflect that this is the only bid submitted. All right, next up, we have a couple of right-of-way permits. This is the BSM group along Washington Street in Waldron, and also a road cut request along East Street in Waldron by BSM group. Ben, you want to talk to us a little bit about the specific request as well as some of the ancillary issues that we're experiencing with this?
As far as the permit request, the right of way and the road cut, we have no conflicts with that, but I am going to suggest that the board votes to table this for at least another week. BSM has contracted a company called Verita to do a lot of the work around the Waldron area and southeast part of the county. They've done some road cuts in the past couple of months that have not been properly repaired. We had to go out and temporarily repair one because it was on Race Street, which is what the Waldron Elementary School requires parents to take, dropping children off at the elementary school. They were forced to hit these road cuts that were very deep. So we did a temporary repair on those. There's 2 more over on Franklin Street, and there's another on Main Street by the post office. I've reached out to them multiple times. Todd Jones, the assistant, has met them on site. They're having some issues with a subcontractor they had, and they're holding the retainage, but I would recommend that you guys table this until they are properly repairing the road cuts they've previously done.
I think I would just move to deny the current ask for the permit to do this work and have them resubmit after this work is done. So I would move to deny these requests.
Is that gonna make extra work for you guys, we deny versus table?
Diane, if they deny it, will they have to submit a whole new application?
Yes, if you deny it, they're gonna have to submit a new application.
I don't wanna make extra work for them for somebody else, for somebody else's wrongdoing.
Have you been in contact with BSM as far as?
I have been in contact with Rita, like I say, Todd Johns, met them in person almost 2 months ago. It is a requirement that these are fixed within 60 days. The ones on Franklin Street have been more than that. The ones on Race Street are coming up on the 60-day mark. The ones on Main Street were done about 3 weeks ago. So I contacted the district supervisor from Verita last week. So he explained to me again that they had a subcontractor that did not fulfill his duties. They're holding his retainage. They're trying to find a local contractor to come out and concrete these areas. I told them there's many contractors. I don't give preferential treatment. I was not going to recommend anyone, but there are plenty of local contractors that they could reach out to. These are just small 2 foot by 2 foot road cuts. No, they were done to hydrovac out to locate existing utilities so they didn't damage anything in the process of boring their fiber lines.
Dr. Hitchcock, just real quick, I know these are kind of around the Waldron School area. Is that going to affect any of your operations with respect to any planned tech upgrades, infrastructure upgrades, anything like that? Or are you guys fairly secure with your?
Depending upon this.
Okay.
Any of our operations.
Okay.
The only headache it causes with pick up and drop off at the school in the morning and afternoon. That's the only real setback. There's work drop off.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I'd like to leave my motion as is.
We have a motion to deny the requests for BSM Group for the right-of-way permit and road cut in the Waldron area. I'll second the motion. All those in favor signifying the affirmative. Aye. Requests are denied 3-0. And what the record reflected, this isn't in opposition to the scope of work that's performed. This is solely on because of failure to comply with prior road cut approvals. So. Sheriff Holder, any updates from law enforcement side? Dennis, any upcoming events for EMA? Desiree, we have Plan Commission tomorrow night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Plan Commission meeting tomorrow night, 7 o'clock in this room. Donna, HR. Okay. John, IT update, anything on the horizon?
Brand computer started a refresh, life cycle replacements, so. Other than that.
Tisha, how are things over at dispatch?
Issues right now, waiting on the tech to see what the repair.
A console issue or a power issue or?
Just equipment that I use in the actual ones.
Mike, any updates with regards to veteran services?
All good.
Danny, you with us on Zoom?
Hey, good morning, Jason. Yeah, I'm here.
Morning. Work's progressing out at the solar facility with regards to road repairs. The contractor's done a great job of providing information with respect to what's on the menu for each day. So appreciative of the continuous communication with regards to where work will be occurring on each day. Anything you'd like to add?
No, nothing for me. Work's progressing. Should be done in 2 to 3 weeks, I think was their latest estimate.
Great. So weather is cooperating. That's always helpful. So
Danny, I had somebody that was asking about 700 North. I don't know if they just completed that, if they paved that. Do you know if they've done that?
I don't think they've paved it yet, but I'm not sure. I'd have to give them a call.
They are not fully completed on that. Between 5 East and 700 East, they have done full depth patching. They end up milling 4 to 5 inches of 80% of that roadway and patching all the deteriorated places. Then they've come back through a second time and laid another 2-inch lift as a wedge and level. They do still plan on putting another 2 inches of surface on that roadway. And then it will have aggregate berm shoulders added to it once it's completed. I know they have not done the surface yet.
Okay, so they are gonna put an aggregate shoulder on there, because that's what I was asked, if someone could do some type of berming on that, just because it is
That is the plan.
actually rolled a tire off of an implement apparently.
Yeah, unfortunately, this will end up about 3 inches higher than the existing road level was. This was planned to have an 8-inch mill and then come back with another 2 inches of intermediate, 2 inches of surface. Unfortunately, when they did the core samples, there was not near enough coverage of pre-existing asphalt. So they had to change the scope a little bit, just mill off the 4 to 5 inches, do the full depth patching, and then come back with another 4 inches on top. So there was already planned on being a aggregate berm installed on that road. What we were able to save from not doing the 8-inch mill and patch, we were able to use some of those quantities to pad the amount of aggregate that's going to go back on the shoulder to make sure that we make that a little safer on the edges, taper in approaches to driveways, and offset the cost there.
Right, okay. Thank you, Ben.
That sound right, Danny?
Yep, that's right.
Just to remind everybody too, there is a text message alert and email if you want to sign up to get notifications of where they're working and what they've completed or where they'll be working at in that area as well.
Danny, this is Amy. Our treasurer tried to send you an email last week and it got bounced back. So I sent it this morning. I don't have my email up here, but did you receive it?
Yep, I got the email from you this morning. I'm all good.
Okay, I just want to make sure. We can't figure out why it bounced back because it had the right email address, but.
I think also while we got some people here, we kind of tabled stuff until this week to kind of clarify about the tax abatements and when stuff was going to be due.
That's what they're asking where they want it sent, if we wanted to check or wire, we prefer wire. That's what she was sending to Danny, because I think Danny, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Jody said Tuesday night or last Tuesday night in the council meeting, you were hoping to get it out by the 31st.
Yeah, we'll try with getting the banking information today. Worst case, it would come the following week. So we'll pay within 2 weeks of today.
Okay. Yeah, Jody, I talked with Jody Butts and she called and talked to him, so we have things cleared.
thanks, Danny. Anybody in the audience or on Zoom?
Hi, it's Blake. I was gonna question about that payment, but I just want to clarify, from what was just said. That will be the full $1.6 million that Speedway is paying to the county at that point.
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Got a few more,
Benjamin,
Jason.
sorry.
You're fine. We are gonna request a closure of London Road at 800 North for November 17th through the 23rd for a culvert pipe replacement. Trissler Construction will be completing this work for us. Unfortunately, with the proximity to the intersection, we will have to close London Road north and southbound of 800 North, and we will also have to close the intersection at 800 North for this installment. This is a 60-inch pipe by 40-foot long. It's pretty deep, moves a lot of water. We are hoping to have it done sooner than a week, but removal, replacement, and then this will get a 8-inch concrete pad re-poured back in. We had a temporary collapse the east side of this that we went out and repaired. This pipe's in pretty desperate need of replacement.
You said 17th to the 24th?
Through the 23rd. We're hoping to have it back open and not affect traffic by Monday, the 24th is our hope.
I'll move to approve the road closure, 17th to the 23rd on London Road.
I'll say it.
We have a motion second for the road closure request, London Road 800 North, right by Sugar Creek Myrtle Edition, I believe is the name of it. All those in favor signify in the affirmative. Aye. Closure request passes 3-0. Just friendly reminder that is fairly well-traveled stretch of London Road. So we will do our best to get word out, especially leading up to that. Anybody else in the audience or on Zoom?
Got one more. All right. I just need
I'm
to
sorry, Ben. Yeah.
request approval to accept annual bids and quotes for the county highway department. We would like to advertise on November 1st and November 12th. Open those bids and quotes on November 24th.
So just for everyone's information, County Highway at the end of the year has to request bids for materials, supplies, aggregate, asphalt, basically everything you guys use to make roads. And we'll receive quotes and figure out how expensive it is to make a road next year. Said November 1st.
Advertisement November 1st and November 12th. Bids due 8 a.m. November 24th.
I'll move to approve.
Say it.
I have a motion and second for the requested bid timeline. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Bids open November 1st.
Advertised November 1st and 12th.
Advertised November 1st. All right. What else you got then?
I'm done.
Anybody in the audience or on Zoom? Questions, comments, items for the good of the cause?
I'll move to adjourn.
We're adjourned, everyone. Drainage board to follow. Appreciate everyone's time. Have a good week.
Staying here, we'll just roll.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can.
Use your fancy letter.
Been in here on the phone a couple times, I think, when you guys are installing signs.
We have a mild limit with not a lot of, I haven't seen them. I'll be like, hey, help me out. That was a good point.
Fiber multiple times, that's not the way that's supposed to be done. Drop our fiber is and cut it on the whole line now.
Mhm.
It is pretty significant.
It's only 600, the rest of they stay out of our way everywhere else for our fiber.
Are you doing from?
So, yeah, put Dagger in it.
Yeah, it's just school fiber.
It's not a pretty aggregate, but I know 700 north, 25 and 7 east. I believe city.
Email me.
Yeah, I'll take some pictures too,
Okay.
because there's just a couple sections, they're not supposed to,
Over east, 25,
have to stay within their zone.
That's where
They come down below us or come back.
especially on that the side of the road. If you come on, grab it in your fiber, out that whole west side. It's pretty substantial.
Thanks, Brian. Good. That'd be great. That'd be great.
But O'Mara has
You
great job so far. Trying to force it.
Form
Now, the
55, 930.
person that was with them, other than that, I think everybody, all the residents
Yeah,
that
sorry for the.
work get done. They've already completed a lot.
Rapid fire questions.
What is the problem?
Well, thank you.
That's
why you're here, right?
Yeah. That's not a lot of people have questions about property taxes, and it's always good to have somebody that, will make.
I don't know anybody that says I know too much about tax.
Where's the Clinton?
Where is it?
I just,
I can help
West,
with your assessment.
West Lima County, basically south.
That's with the treasurer's office. To try to explain as much as we can, and a lot of folks are. She love it.
They're unhappy with the answers.
They are, but once they understand at least how we arrived at that number, they seem to match that.
they still doing the, through the state. taxes. Agriculture, they're still doing that.
Sorry.
You're gonna know, because I'm gonna read it.
That's great.
Because they.
I love to learn.
If you go to the state chemist office, and if you have a building that's a dike inside,
That's a great idea.
then they will suspend. that.
I would just, every check be
Okay.
3.5.
And I was just, I'm so.
My son on Facebook.
I went through that process about 10 years ago.
Pops up on there.
And then
Try to.
That is.
Way down the-
We need to get you,
Yeah.
Legal phrase.
It is food state chemist. Yeah, they,
I like it. It's
they
nice.
have on there and down to the county.
Well, they are.
Suspend the sign board.
Okay.
I'll call it that. and say,
I'm gonna call you.
I don't-
You.
It's gonna be.
So I know these.
You're home.
Okay.
I don't care.
Thank you.
Finally followed through. The age, I think, is meant to. The one that shows the age. Yeah. It's that.
See what's going on.
I need to see.
Yeah, all of us too, really,
Yeah.
you know.
You don't want a piece of paper. Yeah, bring us multiple pieces of paper.
Trying to be frugal.
He's, yeah, saving,
So taxpayer money. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's call to order the Shelby County Drainage Board meeting for October 27th, 2025. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Jeff especially. Of course. First thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from 10/14/2025. I'll entertain a motion for that.
Second.
Need a motion
So moved.
first? Yeah, good. All right.
Which
Uh,
years here.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved 3-0. And that leads us to our good friend and colleague,
Okay.
Jeff Powell.
All right, I've got a few things on the agenda here this morning. First being, the Clendening, tile
This is one that we had spoke about the last meeting. This is the one that is south of 44. Amy's got it up here on the GIS. This drain, obviously, again, had been partially replaced back in 22, 23, I think 22, during the COVID time, and far exceeded the cost analysis of what was, they actually they're at what they estimated to spend of what we concluded. And we're still 40,000 or so in the hole, but we didn't make it all the way through it. I've been working with James Ramsey on this. We had conversations, we met, we talked about it. We've looked at a couple different things. We have an estimate as of right now of plus 100,000, just a little over 100,000 to complete this project. I don't want to disclose exact numbers on this estimate only because obviously we carry forth this project. We would be needing to open still bids to do this. But we are looking at a $100,000 plus cost analysis and approximately, as it was thrown out the other day, probably about a $50,000 cost of that is going to be getting underneath State Route 44.
Have we identified the exact distance north of 44 that is gonna
And
extend?
if you look at, as she has indicated here, I do recall looking at some legal descriptions that qualify this thing to just actually go a few, 100 feet, couple hundred feet north of 44.
Because I thought it terminated right on the north side of
Basically,
44.
that is what I understand also.
So the reason I'm bringing that up is I just want to make that clear that we could facilitate something, but the county drain does not extend much past 44.
That is correct. And all our project scope of work at this moment would bring us up to 44. I think there is, and I'll have to verify, David. For some reason, I'm wanting to say it was 100 feet or something. I mean, it was, I don't know why.
It's basically just to
It's
get
just,
to the side.
I think so.
I think so that they can have that crossing maintained would be my guess.
That is my understanding of what the legal definition was previously. Now, that could obviously be petitioned to be extended if a landowner desired to do so. And pretty much that landowner north of that is all David Brown.
So the remainder of this project is approximately what, 3/4 of a mile south of 44 and then crossing 44?
Very, yes. We've got approximately about 3,000 feet left to install is approximately what we've got left to install to get us up to that State Route 44.
And the work north of 44 has already been previously done.
No, south of 44. We've gotten up to within about 3,000 feet of.
Okay, so we're going from Sugar Creek Road to just south.
We're just we understand that the tile has been replaced just north of, and that is, I think, what road is that east-west? Is that 200? Do you know, James? 250. The last project took it just north of 250.
What I'm getting at is there's really no point though, unless we go under 44 to tie everything together. Okay.
Yeah, and this next year will be our last year of assessment on the preset assessment that we had. Now, I did have conversation with a couple other people on this. David, we're working with Susan Botkins on the MS4 stuff. I had a conversation with her the other day. She called me about the MS4, but her and I ended up on a different, talking about this because she was the Hancock County surveyor and inquiring to see how some of this would work and things. And there is definite agreement that for us to continue, we would need to advertise and hold hearings to change the cost here, the total cost, or phrase it as phase 2 of this project and extend it on up to 44, but it would need to be reheared. in order to do that. And then we would either elect to extend that assessment longer, or, which would probably be the desirable thing, or raise that assessment to where we can bring in more dollars faster, would be the options. But we would definitely need to rehear this to extend the project, or to finish this next phase.
So a couple things that I think we need to clear up or clean up, which have not, I mean, we were not a part of this at that time.
Correct.
Is the fact that, you know, Dave Brown's prepaid a substantial amount of money to get his part paid for, to continue work on that was falling short of funds that were available so that the work can continue. So I really feel like we need to get squared up on his portion so that we know what he has paid and what that would actually go toward in the project. So like, I don't want him to overpay, number one. Number two, the amounts that we have collected, we need to make sure that we're collecting the greatest allowable amount from the other landowners. I guess what I'm saying is we just need to square up the whole thing, like figure out who owes what, how much longer it is. You know, you say it's 1 year.
Yes.
On the assessment.
Yes, next year we'll cap the original approved 5-year assessment.
So we need to make sure everybody's paid up on their end, because I just don't want to continue and have this big mess on the backside.
Oh, I understand.
And then say, oh, let's move forward. And I want to complete it. I'm not trying to hold anything up, but I just think it's getting a little messy on the who owes what and what was it for. And now that we have this difference in cost, you know, and then we have to have another hearing and then go back in and vote on how they're going to do that. If they want to do, I mean, they could even vote not do it, other than the fact that
Dave Brown is he is the majority of it. So
but he's already paid a majority.
He has.
So
he
I
has.
just want to get that. I mean, don't you agree that it's kind of convoluted?
Somebody put together, from here to here is done. pretty
Right.
much.
Yes, yes,
And then we're short 3,000 feet to here.
that's correct. Yeah,
And it's
we're,
$40,000 to fix this.
it's gonna be about 50 to finish getting up to that location, and we've got about 50 underneath the road.
And then there are 50 to hit the right.
That's a bore underneath the highway.
And we're already short about what, 40 ton?
We're short 40 right now is what our number was as of,
And what do we collect next year on?
7,000 in the hole.
47.
47, we collect what, 30 something each year on that?
Yes.
So next year we'll be down to maybe 15,000 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and that's probably, that's gonna be the overage that I think we were over that 10% or so. So what my suggestion is, and I did, just so you're clear here, I made the comment to Dave Brown. I did ask him, I didn't tell him, I asked him that, hey, why don't you not make payments right at this very second until we figure out, because I didn't want him to get in a situation where he's gotten overpaid on this and then we got to refund money or something of that nature. You know, I said, why don't you just hold off and let us get that figured out. So I will get with Janet and see about determining exactly where Dave Brown is on his payments that he's made.
And am I correct in saying that even if you prepay that, they can only use what your assessed value is per year?
That's what I'm understanding. Does that sound correct to you, Amy? That they're can only apply what his assessment is?
Yeah, if not, it's gonna show up and want us to refund it to them. So they've taken the check to the bank. It's just that.
So it's in like an escrow,
Yeah.
just waiting to be paid out, so.
Yeah, they're tracking it all. They have all that they're tracking, but I do know it also makes it a little more difficult on the treasurer to do this because they've got to go in there and divvy it out among all the individual tax statements that this applies to. And
So I would like
He just
moving.
paid another 10,000.
I know.
Right, so he's paid 80 or 90,000, I
I
think.
think he's up to 90, I
I think
believe.
he's 90 or 100.
So I think before we move forward to facilitate the remainder of this, we need to get all the accounting caught up just to know
I concur.
exactly who owes what, what's been paid and where we're at, you know,
Yeah,
financially.
I concur
I
with
think
that
that's
entirely.
probably a pretty where,
Yeah, and to do so, like I said, and once we do decide that, okay, yeah, we're moving forward with this, which there's no reason not to move forward with this project as the funds are available, is for us to hold a hearing. And that's very simply, notices being sent out and advertised.
landowners in the
Yeah,
watershed.
yeah. So it's not, you know, and we're not talking a huge watershed here.
Right, or a huge number of people.
No, no. So it's going to be very simple. And like we've already concluded, David Brown is the majority ownership of the
Right.
tracks. And I know we've got, there's others that are all in support of this that are larger landowners too. So
They'd just like to see it done.
absolutely. And understood.
And like I said, I don't want to hold it up. I just want to make sure everything's fair and everything's done that was supposed to be done and that we don't just kick the can down the road. And
So I've got a notation here I'll get with Janet on that and we'll get figured out exactly where we're at with Dave Brown on his payments. And I'm going to also verify, I'm going to get in, verify.
We have two questions on
Okay,
that.
verify the termination point, the length.
The
Okay,
first one says, I may have already asked this question. Was the non-legally dug pond on 250 part of the reason this project will cost more than what it was initially thought? Then she said, to clarify, when the initial project started, it was discovered that a landowner on 250 had dug a pond without seeking a permit that was going to affect the work on this legal drain. I didn't know if the solution to the working around the pond led to higher costs than what was expected.
yeah, to respond to that, my knowledge of that situation, again, I was not part of the project at the time. I don't think that it added any cost to the project. I think for simplicity purposes. And that's basically the long, narrow lots here. I can point to it here, Dave. Tall enough? Oh, barely, right here. I think this went north up that west boundary line of that and then crossed 750. And that's where we're actually at right now. So they rerouted around to avoid those 2-3 residential tracts. And that's where that pond was. So I don't want to say that it cost more, added cost to the project. I think simplicity, and I think David Brown owns both of those parcels. I believe that was all relocated on him, so he did not have any objections to doing that.
Side of the pond and they want to take each side.
It did? Okay.
David, everything.
Yeah, now we're avoiding it entirely.
I thought we had established the last time we had a pond issue that you don't have to have a permit for that type of pond.
That is correct.
So I don't think there's.
The only thing that would have applied here is that they were working within our regulated drainage. And they should have come before the board. And if they would have come before the board would have very likely said, no, you're not going to dig a pond.
Right.
In our legal drain.
Right.
But I mean, this was a tile also that was in dire need of repairs, you know, and probably had blowholes and everything else in places. So, you know, I mean, I'm not surprised that it occurred.
Amy, can you zoom in where that pond's at?
Like it's on the corner, like the northwest corner of it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
This one?
Uh-oh. It didn't do.
They used to set up the GIS.
You see it there?
I can see it fine.
Well, while she's getting that, so I'm going to verify the actual termination point of that, so we've got that clearly established.
It's just west of the intersection 750.
Is where the pond's at. Yeah, okay. She's having to do this with the touchpad and it's impossible to.
What was there another question on Zoom?
No, she said thanks. I wanted to make sure it wasn't the reason for the additional.
The additional cost was just really COVID and increase in supply.
It was the COVID situation that caused it to cost considerably more. Material wise.
Jeff, not to change gears on you, but I did see that Danny was on here, Speedway Solar, and I think he has another meeting at 9.
Oh.
Just in case he has to leave, if you had anything for him,
I did. So if I may real quick, I'll jump gears here. I did have an update on the Speedway Solar on the drainage side of things. I did get with Brandon Everhart. This is pertaining to the Carmody tile. I've had concerns about the method of which and how they connected to that Carmody tile. As part of the project, they did not follow my directions specifically as I had it identified. So he is going to go in and he is preparing, Dan, if you can hear me here, he is going to prepare a quote for you and get that information over to you. I asked him to try to see if he could get that to me this week. So we can be able to present that to you. They are the actual tenants to that farm also. So he's going to make that repair there. And then we had a couple things where that Carmody tile, where they replaced it at, they didn't do a very good job of grading out. And I've asked him to clean that up as part of this quote. So,
so is that something Speedway's picking up?
that is something Speedway is picking up. And I had a conversation with Danny on this the other day and told him that I would get with Brandon and get a quote together, which I'm going to forward to Speedway Solar to Danny, and then they will be taking care of that. Do you have any questions on that one, Danny?
Hey, Jeff, this is Danny. No, I appreciate you kind of driving, scoping that out with Brandon. I think he's got my email and my cell phone number. So whenever he's got an estimate together, just sending it over to me.
I will definitely do that. And I think everything else that I talked about another concern out there, and Brandon and I looked at that, and I think we're covered on the connection up by 600 East on that breather. So I think right now, just cleaning up the connection at the where that breather is at the property line at the south end of the project, and cleaning up some grading up through there is going to be the extent of what we need to do to make that all acceptable. I just had that to report pertaining to the solar there. And then while I've got Danny online here, I want to thank you for providing the information you provided me. And I truly do appreciate that. And that will be very helpful in furthering establishing my monuments. I did spend a couple solid days last week out digging for corners and stuff for this road paving, which I was very grateful to the highway department. Thank you, Ben, for allowing me to have assistance, and I hope James is doing better.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. But I did appreciate the cooperation with the highway department helping me get that done. It was a kind of a fast-paced thing, but I think we're good. And once I get my surface down out there, get the surface down, then I can go out there and simply just stake back out to all my monuments and get them reestablished. Yep. It worked out well. We dug and found 4 stones out there in the process of doing this.
That's good.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with it.
Danny, did you have any other comments as far as drainage went, or before we let you go?
No, I think I'm all good. Thank you for your help with digging up the monuments, Jeff. I know that was kind of a rush request, so I appreciate you supporting the road reconstruction.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Danny, and thanks for providing the updates that you do every week and, all the things you've done since you've been there to try to get the drainage issues solved and I think we're, sitting in a pretty good spot right now as far as all the problems we had that's been taken care of. So thank you for that.
Agreed. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, just kind of I do appreciate it. And as of this point in time, I know the other concerned drainage areas pertaining to the solar farm, are being watched and I know he's gone, but I really appreciate his willingness to assist us on this. And he's been great to work with and hopefully, we'll be able to continue that relationship with him.
I feel like the last few months have gone
Oh.
really well.
Yeah,
They basically said no to nothing.
yeah. No, they've,
So that's good.
I think they've honored their commitments there. So I'm going to jump real quick to the Zell Patterson tile. I've done some more investigating on this. We've chatted and unbelievably, Nathan came up with a good idea and I like it. And what I would like to request is the approval for me to spend a few dollars. I don't know how much, but I would like to go out and do a few spot digs on this Zell Patterson tile. South where we had, and I'm kind of just saying this in general here, this tile crosses the gas line, I think we determined 5 times. And we had been discussing this and what our best solutions are. And what was suggested here is maybe running 2 tiles parallel to this, to the gas main, and not having to cross the gas main at all. And I really like that idea and I think it's feasible to do it. What I would like approval from the drainage board is to be able to go out there and do a few spot digs to see, get some elevations and to really look at this a little further to see how feasible it would be to, and cost wise and whatnot, to run a tile up versus trying to do some drop structures underneath the gas lines.
Amy, how much was in that account?
28,000.
Roughly, what are you asking?
Just probably a couple thousand, few thousand, to go out there and just to spot dig, locate it up. Huh? Probably wouldn't even be that much. I'm going out there with a mini.
Who does that? You do that or someone else do that?
I'll have somebody else do that. Yeah, I'd have somebody else do it. I won't do it. I'll coordinate this with the gas company because I want, where I want to locate it is within a reasonable side of that gas line and have the intentions of running up parallel to it would be the thought process. I already brought it up to David Brown. He doesn't have a problem with it. Again, where this is another property that he's involved with. He wouldn't have any objections to us running up through there with a tile. So I just think I think it's going to maybe be the best solution.
So within my motion, can I cap that at $1,500?
Certainly. Yes.
That'd be fair.
I was gonna say 2, but 15.
I move to approve exploratory digging on the Zell Patterson ditch for up to $1,500.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we can get something done on that, Dave.
Second.
Second motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0, 1,500. Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think
No, that's sufficient. No, yeah.
if it's 500, let's keep it at 500.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're probably only talking a couple hours of time. I mean, you gotta, taking a mini out there or something and
Right.
digging. But yes, I will coordinate getting that taken care of then. I appreciate that. And then what that will facilitate me doing is being able to determine how feasible it's going to be to run up through here and where we can tie back.
Which in turn, so to make that clear, that digging may save us tens of thousands of dollars on the project. So that's why I'm good with that, because I think it's an unknown, number one, that we need to know.
Exactly.
And there's no other way to do it, really.
No, there's not. And that's why I just feel this is the best method to do that. So we will get that taken care of there.
Jeff, just out of curiosity. so
Yes, sir.
You do these digging exploratory stuff. Does that get recorded somewhere? So
I am.
we can later on be like, we explored 5 years ago, 7 years.
Yep. I've actually have got a drawing that I've, got pulled together already for the stuff that I've located on the Zell Patterson of the tiles that we had exposed right now, where we had it exposed and everything I located. I've got all that in a drawing and I will continue to add this to it. I will be locating these, vertically and horizontally and establishing that. And in return also, I'm probably gonna add, I will have the gas company give me depths down there at this other area where we do that, so I'll know what the depths are of the pipes there too.
And at some point, if we ever have a drainage map, we can have all that information.
Yeah.
On there and, GPS.
Absolutely.
So that's our
Yep.
hope.
Yep.
At some time,
Yep.
to be.
And it helps us be able to, we can use it to adjust, where this tile shows that it's at. I mean, we need to be making adjustments. So as the,
So you don't think it still goes
no,
through the pond?
exactly, precisely. The other thing that I have for you, I received a letter from, for the spraying from Dalton, stating that they are willing to, hold the previous year's numbers if we're going to be doing a similar spray program. I know we've had some conversation about this. I myself don't know that it is absolutely necessary that we spray all these same ditches again. Some of these are in very good condition. Some of them, we're still getting them in a better situation. Some areas more than others, maybe got some areas that are a little heavier. I'm wondering if this next year we want to look at, not saying we don't use Dalton, but saying that we maybe look at some other, doing some other drains possibly, because we do have some that, that we don't have on a spray program that are open regulated drains. And I don't really know why we don't have them on there, but I think to be honest with you, probably the individual landowners have been taking care of them. And a lot of them do take care of them, but this is just kind of a reassurance that we're keeping this brush control down, because that's the whole purpose of this. Well, brush and broadleaf control. But I do know we've got the Glessner ditch that David and I had met on and talked about. That's something that's going to take some special attention, because you're not going to run a machine up through there. It's through a residential area, but it needs it.
And it needs spray.
At
At least part of it. Some
At
of it
least a
doesn't,
part
like
of
you
it.
said. Some of it doesn't, some of it does.
Yeah, so I'm going to, at this moment, I'm not asking, I guess I'm not asking the board to say, yeah, let's agree to redoing what we did last year. But we bring into your attention that Dalton is willing to do it for the same numbers, as long as we maintain a equivalent, spray area. Because I'm sure they're looking at it as volume. They're coming up for so much volume, they want to be able to.
When does that have to be voted on? When do they like to have that contract?
Well, they said by the first of the year, he would.
We usually bid around like in December.
Yeah, I think we did last year, November, December, we agreed upon kind of and said, yeah, we'll redo it again. So just bringing that to your attention.
We'll look at that, we'll look at the ones that aren't, that need to be, and then we also need to look at ditches that are assessment not being collected.
Yes. It's really get into that.
And then that's also another way to facilitate paying for the ones that need spraying, but are on assessment, or their own assessment not being collected and don't have money. So.
Okay. That is all that I have for today. If there's anything else that needs to be brought to the board, if there's anybody in the audience that needs to bring anything.
Anybody on Zoom? You guys have any comments? Tell Jeff what a good job he's doing. That is a good deal though, getting those corners and monuments.
I was.
I mean, I know that's been a big.
Yeah, I knew we'd have some, but I didn't realize I think about 50 corners I had to go dig up.
Now you have, so.
Well, we got them. And it'll be very simple to reinstall them. Ready to do that. And what will it be on that, Ben, a couple of weeks before, are we already starting to get some final surface down?
We are. Dave O'Mara did a very good job. They had more completed in 5 days than I honestly thought they'd have in 2 weeks.
They're saying Thanksgiving, but I bet it'll be
If the weather holds out,
for that.
latter part of this week isn't looking real good, and we really need temperatures at 45 and rising to be putting down surface. With some base material, you can do it in a little colder temperatures, but you really want 45 and rising when applying surface. So that's kind of set them back. They're working on 750 east, starting at US 52 today, working south. Going to try and get that surface completed all the way down to 700 north, 600 east and 700 north. They've completed everything but surface. 625 east between 5 and 6 north. They've already fully completed all of that except for the aggregate shoulders. 600 north between 600 east and 700 east. They've already replaced culvert pipe, done their wedging and leveling and full surface, just waiting on aggregate shoulders. And then 625 east north of 7 already done all their full depth patching, wedge and level, just waiting on surface.
It would feel like they were almost half done.
They have completed a substantial amount of work in a short period of time.
So
James can attest this. They've been gracious enough to let them use their lots and coordinate with them to help. And they have brought in a large amount of equipment. I'd probably say 90% of their workforce. And
They pretty much are the truck drivers that are hauling the equipment in and out. I jokingly said, like you guys select up for an auction because multiple pavers, 8 or 10 rollers, I mean, lots of equipment lined up there.
it couldn't have worked out any better because they were finishing up with a lot and they needed some fill work.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's that part's.
Told us that the office said everything is ASAP, you send everything we got.
I've had 3 different milling machines, 3 different pavers, like I said, multiple rollers, tons of dump trucks, Bobcats equipment. They've already replaced 4 structures and put 1 pipe extension on. They had all that completed by Thursday.
What did they find underneath 700 east? They're just on the south edge of 700 north. That was a box culvert or
What
something?
that was, they were anticipating that just to be a pipe. Years ago, the county must have come in and put an extension on a 2 foot by 2 foot steel reinforced concrete structure. So they started to remove that and said, we don't have big enough equipment to do this. We're gonna have to come back tomorrow. And they got it all installed and everything seems to be moving right along.
And so that was,
I know that's not necessarily drainage, but it has effects on the drainage for sure. So anyone else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Good. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Jeff, see you in 2 weeks.